Welcome to the Mine Lockout Awareness video. This video was put together to assist workers at Syncrude to be able to identify various hazards that surround us, but even more so, to explain the systems and controls that are in place to protect you and your fellow workers. The mining department runs on electricity and processed water. Shovels, crushers, conveyors, and various other pieces of equipment require electrical power for their operation. From the power station, electricity is routed to a power distribution system to switch houses near the pit area. Trailing feeder cables connect the switch houses to the shovels and other electrically powered equipment. Preventative maintenance and repair is required on all mining equipment to correct or prevent breakdowns that may interrupt the ability to produce oil. If you're going to be working in the mining area, you're going to be involved in lockouts in one way or another. The guidelines of all lockout activities are described and explained in detail in this manual. The mine practices and procedures provided in this manual are specific to mining equipment at both Base Mine and Aurora. The practices and procedures were developed to be in compliance with the SH&E Standard number 105. Which is the control of hazardous energy. There may be cases where the isolation of electrical energy or other forms of energy, harmful substances, or hazardous materials are not covered by this manual. It is deemed to be the responsibility of the area owner to establish the appropriate procedures, documentation, and controls. Consider the Practices and Procedures Manual as the law. Any modification of authorized tags, devices, cards, procedures, or anything else related to lockouts require the prior approval of the Mine Lockout Committee. The mission of the Mine Lockout Committee is to observe and assist with mine lockout concerns, incidents, and deviations. The committee is an assembly of full-time Syncrude employees that have a keen interest and/or expertise within the mine lockout system. That's why it is so important that you know who the representative is in your area, or at least know where or how to report and express any of your concerns. If you're not sure, ask your area leader or refer to OIMS Section 6.2 where you will find a list of committee members. All right, let's have a look. As you may know, performing routine maintenance on such large pieces of equipment and machinery poses a various number of dangers. Within mobile maintenance, the primary concerns of those dangers can be described as various forms of stored energy like electric, pneumatic, hydraulic, even gravitational. Controlling the release of these energies is an absolute must. To accomplish this, a system of practices and procedures has been put in place for all isolations on equipment and their components. First, let's take a look at what is an isolation. It is defined as the control of hazardous energy using a mechanical device to physically restrain, regulate, direct, or dissipate the energy at its source. But why is an isolation necessary? It is to control the hazardous energy associated with machinery or powered mobile equipment that may pose a threat to an employee's health and safety or to the environment. By following OH&S guidelines, Syncrude's Mine Operations Department uses two types of lockout system options. The first is the individual or personal lock system. The second is complex group locks. Okay, let's put these systems into perspective for you. If you're working as a heavy equipment operator in the mine, you may have noticed heavy-duty mechanics or fuel and lube technicians designated to service and repair support equipment in the field. And if you're watching closely, you may have noticed them carrying around one of these red tags, scissors, and locks as well. This is a definite indicator that these workers have been trained in the individual lock and tag system, better known as mobile equipment isolations. Syncrude offers this training by administering a computer-based training program, followed by field training with an authorized trainer that is familiar with the job scope, the equipment, and the process involved in controlling hazardous energy. For example, depressurizing of all charged systems, steering accumulators, brake and hydraulic systems, applying slings to raised hauler dump bodies, or applying wheel chocks are all part of this safeguard. All of this is covered in Sections 7 and 8 of the Practices and Procedures Manual, and of course in the training. Now, let's take a look at our complex group system. The mining department's registered lockout system was developed based on a need to provide efficient and safe isolations of equipment spread over a large area. Syncrude shovels utilize the mine registered lockout system. These are found in Sections 1 through 6 of the Mine Lockout Practices and Procedures Manual. The mine registered lockout system is centrally controlled in each operating area. Mine production has controllers who control and coordinate all the lockout activities. This complex group lock system allows us to have multiple trades working on interrelated components simultaneously without endangering others because of the unique documentation system used by the controller and the controls exercised by the employees. There are 4 people required to perform a complete lockout transaction. Every employee that participates in a registered lockout must be trained and authorized for the specific functions or role. These 4 roles are the controller, who documents and coordinates, the requester, who places the call to install or release locks at the beginning and at the end of each task, the performer, who installs or removes the locks, and finally, the test starter, who verifies the locks and test starts the unit. Most of the time, transactions are very formal and straightforward, but at times, things can get very complex when we run into faulted test starts, mechanical moves, or even lockout deviations. That's why getting the proper documentation and training is essential to being a part of this lockout system. The system is there for your protection and is designed in a manner that is 100% fail-proof if followed and used according to the guidelines found in the Practices and Procedures Manual. The Mine Lockout Practices and Procedures Manual is approved and implemented under the Mine Lockout Charter and of the Division Managers of the Mining Department. When carried out correctly, these procedures keep individuals safe in the field as well as protect the mining equipment and surrounding environment. Remember, stay safe and look out for one another.